Hello, my name is Malik Sadi and I'm Head of Technology Innovation at ABI Research. Welcome to this UBBF, where we will be discussing the role of connectivity innovation in sustaining long-term economic growth globally. Today, I'm hosting Mr. Mohammed Aliou, Chief Fiber Co-Officer at MTN Global Connect. Mohammed will help us better understand the company's vision and why keeping Africa connected using the most innovative technologies out there is essential for stimulating the continent's economic growth and fostering its human capital. Mohammed, welcome to this session. Your organization is making some strong headlines this year thanks to the great achievement you have made in connecting several African countries to the global connectivity grid. Can you share with us the magic behind your success in Africa and what are the key factors that have helped you deliver on your vision and strategy?
Thank you very much, Malik, for the question, and thank you for having me today as well. MTN Global Connect, being part of MTN Group, have been operating in Africa for a very long time. We understand our continent very well. We're part and parcel of it. And we have a core belief that everybody deserves the benefit of a modern connected life. And we believe that in Africa, we're there to provide the services to everybody in Africa. And one of the missing gaps to make sure that everybody is connected in Africa is the connectivity piece. And that's what Global Connect is striving to do and make sure that we connect all of that. So today we've got investment on all the major subsea cables around west and east of Africa, covering the entire continent. We're on about 15 subsea cables. We've also got, we're also investing in all the new cables that are coming into Africa, just so that we give everybody the connectivity that they deserve. Because like you said, Malik, earlier, connectivity has now become a way of life. People work, play, live, and do everything with connectivity. You can't afford to have it not there. And MTN is at the forefront of making sure that everybody is connected on the continent of Africa, from the subsea to the cable landing stations to all the major HPOPs and into the country is what we're striving to do. Part of MTN's Global Connect strategy to network Africa is the fact that we're connecting the unconnected, so we're doing cross-border connectivity to connect all the countries. Some of the countries were there, some were not there, but we're ensuring that we connected. I think one very important initiative and a strategy we've adopted that is going to make the difference in Africa is the fact that we're doing an east to west African connectivity, such that we cross all the borders and we reduce latency and reduce time to get connectivity from the east part of the world to the west part of the world, whereby you're going to have a very high skill data connectivity across the continent. So what we tag ourselves to is that we're building the fiber railways of Africa to be able to make sure that we get all of the capacity transported from the cable landing stations into land. Thank you very much.
Great, Mohammed. Now I have a question for you. I mean, the burden, to connect, the entire Africa from west to east, and basically, connectivity is coming with very complex challenges, to connect, different countries, but also different enterprise verticals with different requirements. How are you accommodating, those challenges?
Thank you, Malik. A very good question there. Like I said earlier, we've been operating in Africa for a very long time. We've got operations in 19 countries in Africa. Because of that, we understand the terrain very well. We understand the regulatory, we understand all the stakeholders. It's not easy, as you know. I mean, Africa is made up of different countries with different regulations, with different cultures, with different stakeholders. But because we've been operating in that environment, we're striving to make sure that we get that delivered by engaging the right stakeholders, by engaging the right investors, and also the right partners that can help us deliver on this, our objective.
Now, let's talk about the future. Could you please elaborate a little bit on what is the next for MTN Global Connect, how the network of the future should look like in order to leverage on your vision, strategic goals, and maximize your business potentials?
Thank you very much, Malik. A very good question. For us, we are actually investing in subsea cables, one of which is the To Africa cable, which is coming into the future to bring in high bandwidth into the continent. We're the only African provider that are on that consortium. We're also investing in other cables that are coming onto the African continent. But for us, it's not only just the cables coming into the African, landing into Africa, but also we're building an east to west fiber cable as part of our fiber railways in the continent of Africa to connect the east to the west for latency, for resiliency, and all of that, and make sure that we also give everybody the benefit of a modern connected life by connecting the unconnected. And of course, in doing all of that, we're leveraging on technology because we've seen capacity grown very much in the African continent. And for us, we're looking at partnering with who could provide us from 400 gigs to 800 gigs kind of interfaces. We've had a network that used to be in gigabytes. Now we're talking about terabytes, and very soon we'll be talking about petabytes. So it's only ideal that we build a world-class network, a resilient network that can be able to deliver value to our end customers, whether they are hyperscalers, network operators like ourselves, and other players on the continent as well.
Right, so now let's talk about the future. Could you elaborate a little bit on what is the next for Global Connect, MTN Global Connect, how the network of the future should look like in order to leverage on your vision, strategic goals, and maximize your business potentials?
So like I said earlier on, for the future, we're investing in all subsea cables that are coming. To Africa is probably one of the longest subsea cable in the whole world, and we are one of the only African operators that are on that cable. We're also doing the east to west connectivity to connect. We also understand that the future requires very high resilient connectivity, and as such we're investing in technology that can help us give very high capacity, especially to take care of all the hyperscalers that are coming in, make sure that we connect all the edge data centers that are there in place, and make sure that we give our customers the ultimate desire that they need from a network that transits the continent and connects everywhere.
Very good, very good. And in line with, those strong partnerships you have built, and based on your experience, what are, key recommendations and takeaways you would like, to share with your ecosystem partners to accelerate innovation for long-term sustainable growth globally, not just in Africa?
Well, I think for me, the first thing is, based on experience, is the fact that when selecting a partner, select a very good partner that can help you deliver on your objectives. Do not be distracted by what is going on. Right. Just focus on where you need to go and what you need to do. Also leverage a lot on technology so that you don't reinvent the wheel. You're able to use best-in-class technology and you're able to deliver value very, very quickly. And part of the things that I will recommend is the use of sort of like automation. Make sure that you've got a very good system that can help you do a zero-touch kind of network to be able to deliver everywhere. So if I look at the future, I look at a future where we've got high-capacity network. I mean, we started from where people were talking about megabytes. Now we're talking about gigabytes. Now we're talking about networks that are terabytes. And very soon, believe me, Malik, will be talking about petabytes of data in Africa. Africa is the next frontier where growth is very, very high. If you read Factfulness by Hans, he talks about the formula of the world today, where it's 1-1-1-4. 1 billion in America, 1 billion in Europe, 1 billion in Africa, 4 billion in Asia. The formula of tomorrow, which is in 2030, by the way, he wrote the book in 2018, we're already seeing that we'll probably supersede that. The formula will still be 1 billion in America, 1 billion in Europe, 2 billion in Africa, and 5 billion in Asia. If you look at that, Malik, the biggest growth is expected to be in Africa. That's why you see a lot of investment in cables, and we as African players are in the forefront of doing that, and we're actually investing and giving everybody the benefit of a modern connected life by building the fiber railways of Africa to deliver on value.
Yeah, Mohammed, it's great to have you here, and thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on the role MTN Global Connect plays for better connected Africa, and also thank you for your commitments to help your partners achieve business success in Africa and globally, and make this continent an integral part of the global connected digital world. This interview has now come to its end. Thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.